In this video, we'll be making 2.5 gallons of wine using the Brut conical fermenter. Hi, I'm Charles and welcome to DIY Fermentation. Today we're going to be making 2.5 gallons of red grape wine using 5 cups of sugar, a little bit of wine yeast, and for the first time we're going to be using the Brut conical fermenter. Now if you have any questions or comments about entry-level fermentation, please hit the comment section below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm able. Okay, my plan is really very simple. I want to take 5 of these and 5 of these and put them into here. Now the only problem that I see with that is that after I've gotten my 5 jugs of juice in my fermenter and my 5 cups of sugar in there, all my sugar is going to be sitting down at the bottom of the fermenter. So I got to stir all that up. Get a plastic spoon and start stirring. But the problem with that is that you're going to be scraping up against the side of this. You might leave little marks. You're basically leaving breeding grounds for bacteria to come in and attack your wine, if not in this batch, subsequently in your next batch. So there's got to be a better way. One way of doing it is to get you a pot, pour all your juice into your pot, put it on the stove, warm it up a little bit, pour in all your sugar, and then start stirring until everything has been dissolved. Once it's cooled down a bit, you can then take your juice and pour it into your fermenter, and that'll be that. You still have the problem with getting aeration into your wine. You probably get your spoon again and start stirring it around, trying to incorporate air. Or if you're manly enough, once everything is secured, you got everything held down there, you could shake it up. It's going to be pretty heavy, but you could shake it up. There's got to be another way of doing it, a much simpler way of doing it. And the solution is this: a blender. If you've got one, this would be the perfect time to use it. You can put in your juice, you can put in your sugar, you can stir everything up until everything has been fully dissolved and aerated. Then you can pour it into your fermenter and start with the next bottle. It should work fairly simple. And that's the procedure that I'm going to use. Okay, the blender has actually been sanitized using Star San, so I know that everything in there is very clean. Start with our first bottle of juice. Crack that bad boy open. Don't really need to put the entire bottle in there, just enough to dissolve that first cup of sugar. Put it aside. Sugar goes in. Cap goes back on. Press blend. Okay, first cup of sugar is now done. Everything has been very well aerated, looking pretty good. We can now begin to pour this in to our fermenter. That's one. We can now go ahead and pour this in as well. Starting with number 2. I'm not going to show you all of these because we've got better things to do with our time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the end of the aeration process, and then we'll take the next step. Now, the sugar content of wine. I know what I like, I know what I don't like. I like something that's not too sweet, not too dry. And having made several batches of this before, I know that I've liked a gravity reading of 1.100 if possible. So let's find out where I stand. Let's go ahead and take my initial gravity reading. Now you've noticed that I've saved some juice and I've got another half a cup of sugar at the standby in case I need to either sweeten it up or to try and water down the sugar content that's already in there. There. My first reading. Give it a little spin. It's coming in at pretty close. 1.1. Yeah, 1.104. That's actually almost spot on. I know I don't need any more sugar. And I might as well make wine out of this. That'll bring me closer to number 1.10. Pour all that back in. And just for the sake of accuracy, give that a little swirl. Let's take another reading. And let's see how far I need. Oh, by the way, when you're taking your gravity readings, it's always a good idea to do a couple of things. One, jot down some notes. Another thing would be that you might want to just get you some masking tape. Just jot down certainly the date, what your original gravity reading was, and then you can add your subsequent gravity readings on later. Now, this gravity reading, I'm coming in at 1 point. Get over there. 1.1. 1.102. Close enough. Now, I'm going to be using just regular Red Star Premier Blanc wine yeast. It's my general go-to yeast. You can pretty much use anything you like. Earlier episode, you saw me using bread yeast for some apple wine. The results of that will be probably next week. Give that one a testing, see how that worked out. You only need half a pack of yeast. And see, I got my scissors on that one. 1 pack is good enough for 5 gallons of wine. So since I'm only making 2.5 gallons of wine, I only need half a pack. So just go ahead and just sprinkle that on top. I mean, you don't have to stir it in. You don't have to, unless you want to try and get your yeast to bloom. All of that really isn't necessary. Just sprinkle it on top evenly, and almost a little bit more. That's about half a pack, and that is that. Don't let good wine to be go to waste. Just go ahead and pour that back in. Put your cap back on. Nice and tight. Air vent is already installed. Don't need an airlock. And for the next 5 to 7 days, just let it do its thing. If you need to rack it, you might notice that a layer of yeast is building up towards the bottom of your fermenter. Then it's time to rack it into your secondary fermentation vessels, and let your wine take it from there. This wine shouldn't really take that long, probably a couple of weeks before it's ready for drinking. And we'll probably do a taste test to find out how it turns out then. So again, that's how you would make red grape wine in a Blue Demon conical fermenter. Well, some of you might have noticed that there were some ingredients that I did not add to this wine. 1, we did not add any yeast nutrient to the wine. 2, we didn't add any peptic enzyme to the wine. 3, we didn't add any bentonite to the wine or any other fining agents that we might add to the wine later on. And the reason for that is really very simple. You don't really need all that stuff. True, they will enhance the character of the wine. True, in some respects, they will make the wine better. However, if you're just starting to learn how to make wine, why not find out what the wine is going to taste like without all of those added extra ingredients? After 24 hours, this is how active my fermentation process is. Now in my next video, instead of showing you the apple wine that I'm currently making with bread yeast, I'm going to push that off a week. I think I'm going to focus more on using the hydrometer, go into some of the aspects of how that works. So until then, this is Charles from DIY Fermentation. I'll see you later. If you have found this video helpful, make sure you click on the subscribe and notify buttons below so that you can get more videos like this one in the future.